Our next candidate is Jaslin, Kaur, right?
Thank you all so much for having me today. Thank you. My name is Jaslin Kaur. I'm one of your Democratic candidates for New York City Council. Thank you so much to the organization for pulling this event together so last minute, and thank you to all of my fellow candidates who we're always running into on the field, and it's good to see everyone's teams once again. I am your neighbor. I live right on 80th Avenue. I've grown up in Glen Oaks my entire life, and this has always been my home. And I'm so proud to call Eastern Queens a place where so many of our families have thrived. One of the things that we talk about so much in the campaign is that nobody knows policy better than the people who have been failed by it. And one of the many reasons why I'm running for office in the first place today is because of something many of us may be familiar with, which is the taxi medallion market crash of 2014. So my father is a taxi driver and a yellow cab medallion owner, and has been one for over 30 years now. He's still working. Actually, he's knocking doors right now, but he's still working. And it has been that way for my entire life as early as I knew. I remember being a kid, going to sleep, waking up and hearing my father coming home from work at 4 o'clock in the morning, working the overnight shift just to pay off our bills and pay off the property taxes that never seemed to get any lower. And so I looked to the struggles of people like my parents, my mother who works at that supermarket in New Hyde Park, my father who's been this yellow taxi cab driver, and seeing how the city has categorically failed all of our workers. Now this taxi medallion market crash issue goes as far back as the Bloomberg administration. Then it continued on into the de Blasio administration. And now we're here just before one of the most consequential election cycles our city has ever seen, and the taxi workers have still been left behind. I'm really proud to be from a union household and from a family who has been working with the New York Taxi Workers Alliance to win the pensions, the retirement funds, and the worker protections that so many of our laborers need to live a qualified and dignified life right here in New York City. So when people like my parents can't pay their medallion debt, when they can't pay the property taxes, and when they can't pay off my student loan debt, then Eastern Queens has become unaffordable for the working class and has squeezed dry the working middle class in our city. And so I have come to this not just to play politics, but to root us in public service and hopefully win the first South Asian we've ever had in City Council, whenever the first Sikh Punjabi we've ever had in New York State elected office. This is about historical representation at the same time that it is about historical policies that actually change the remnants of our futures. And so I'm really proud to have grown up in our public school system. Some of you might have went to MS 172 or had children at PS 115, and I came up in our public school system at CUNY Hunter College. Some of our students and some of our children today might be looking forward to public university. CUNY used to be free in the 60s and 70s until the state government imposed tuition onto our students. I want to see a future where we have quality, affordable education, quality, affordable housing, and a dignified life for our workers who have been left out of the pale of our political decision-making in this city. And so that's why I'm prioritizing so many of these issues on top of the transit desert that so many of our candidates can never stop talking about, because it is one that we have been dealing with because our government and elected officials have refused to cut through the red tape. And so I'm really honored to be here with you as your neighbor, as your friend, as someone who is looking forward to bring us all into the political system, many of us for the first time. But the only reason that I'm here today is because of the incredible organizing work that has been done by people like you. And so I want us to join in coalition and in deep solidarity together to make this wish come true, so that not only could I hopefully be the first South Asian, but I never want to be the only one. And so I'm proud to have led a campaign that is involved with public servants and not private donors. This is about nurses, parents, teachers, taxi drivers, MTA workers, who have all culminated this past year of wonderful campaigning to bring diverse communities together. And so as we say in the campaign, the Queens we deserve is possible, but it's only possible if we do it together. And I'm so excited, and I hope y'all are excited too, to kick off our early voting starting on June 12th through June 20th. And Election Day on June 22nd is our chance to make history together. So thank you all so much for having me here tonight, and I hope to hear from you more soon.
Thank you, Jaslin.